I just watched the new Fantastic Four movie, and yeah, it's pretty good. Just to let you know, I had zero excitement and zero expectations for this movie. Most Marvel entries are just a hit or miss these days, and the trailers for this one just didn't excite me, but after watching it, it's a pretty solid experience. It doesn't do anything new, it's a standard superhero movie with a moral lesson, and there's nothing wrong with that. That will probably make some fans angry, who are expecting a very complex multiversal plot and all that. But that's just the average Marvel fan's expectation for every movie these days. And getting to the review, the retro vibe of the movie was really cool to see. And the design of the thing looks straight up ripped from the comics. He actually is a pretty large guy, not just a human sized rock dude like in the 2000 movies, and also doesn't look like he isn't allowed in the 150 feet range of a preschool like in the 2015 movie. So that's good to see. The action related to him, like the him throwing a truck or just hitting Galactus in the face from the sky, were awesome as well. And someone who has read very little of the thing in the comics, I always appreciated the action scenes he associated in. But the problem comes that he doesn't really do much in the central plot of things. Yeah, he is there, but they use him very less, and it really hurts the movie that they don't give him a much of a central role. And it also hurts the movie that they did cut out the scene of him and Susan. Would have liked the interaction, and in my opinion, it is a very noticeable flaw in the movie. There's very little interaction between the Thing and Susan, but the Thing interacts with everybody except Susan, so it definitely gives a very weird vibe. And that scene was in the trailer, but don't know why they cut it. It's like they just had to cut it for like the shorter run time, and maybe it's because they had to get more screens in the theater. Mainly that's the case for studios shortening run times. Now coming to another member, Johnny. He has to be the best character in the film. He's the perfect combination of being smart, funny, and serious when he needs to be. He has a lot to do in the movie and is extremely important because he is the literal sole reason they even got Galactus to be teleported by getting Silver Surfer to the good side, and even almost sacrificed himself to save his nephew. Now that's Chad Uncle energy. Now Susan is also handled well. Yeah, handled well. Sometimes it did feel like it was her story more, and it kinda is. Every choice she makes also makes the story, and like each narrative is mostly shaped by her, which is fine. It was overplayed at the end when she almost single-handedly defeated Galactus, which I thought was a stretch. The better choice would be that each member of the Fantastic Four, one by one, attacks Galactus, which would have been better for the overall tone of the movie. But Susan single-handedly almost beat him. And another complaint about the scene is the CGI. It's very bad in that scene. It's like they just completely just they had like one VFX artist in the room who was overdosed on like caffeine, and he just worked his final 2 minutes in the studio and then just called it a day because that was atrocious. I I can only imagine how cringe that looked on set. Like it really looked weird. But I'm glad the writers paid attention to her and made her an actual likable character, unlike the previous movies. Now, Reed Richards. I don't even know how much I can really say about him. Pedro's acting here is like he's mostly bored. Like he doesn't even want to be on the set. He just is there and just says the lines and gets out. Like he doesn't really have the passion and acting. He just kind of plays like a standard, like Mr. Fantastic, very serious, not like the funny type of dude you would see in the comics or the previous movies. And that's a problem. Keep in mind, this is the same, guy that gets praise for being extremely charismatic, but in this movie he has the charisma of a damp sponge. He doesn't really do anything in the movie that makes him stand out, and Reed doesn't use his powers that much in combat situations. Sure, he used them casually, but in combat he uses them a lot less, which is just weird. Because I I even did predict this in the trailers, where I saw that he was getting really little screen time, even in the trailers. His powers weren't being that much displayed, and I was kind of worrying that, oh yeah, this dude probably doesn't have that many scenes of using his powers, and I was right. I was right for months. Yeah, he didn't really use his powers a lot. He just uses them casually when they go to Galactus to deal with him. That what does he want? He uses them in the ship, which is pretty cool, and that is really cool. But in combat situations, barely nothing. So, yeah, kind of a flaw on the action department then there. Now, moving on to Galactus, boy oh boy, have I been waiting for this villain for the past 10 years, and they did not disappoint. This guy is a straight up menace. He sent his servant to threaten Earth, says that they should say goodbye to each other, and then the next day asks for a dude's child to be his successor. Now that's definitely what J. Jonah Jameson would write in his papers. His design is really good, like really good. It's a bit different from the usual, but it's very well done. Very well done. So, and one scene in related to him is when he stretched Mr. Fantastic to his limit and was dead set on tearing him apart. I thought I was gonna see that, multiverse of madness type of stuff, where Wanda turned Mr. Fantastic into spaghetti. But thank God that did not happen there, because that would have been absolutely gruesome. I was like really worried that he's gonna actually rip him apart there. Uh, so I genuinely couldn't watch that scene without looking away. Marvel really did a good job in making that scene terrifying. His scenes actually feel heavy when he came to New York and started walking through this, to the Times Square. The vibrations, like, actually, felt like he stepped on me, bro. Like that was something else. Because keep in mind, I've watched the Godzilla movies, and there I don't really feel the weight of the monsters walking, but here it's really well done. It feels like you're in that moment right there when Galactus is just walking through New York, which is really cool, really cool. That the sound department, whoever worked on the sound for this movie, they did a good job. Really good of scenes for Galactus. And Act 2 and 3 felt the most fast-paced and exciting scenes I've ever seen in a Marvel movie, and it gives out all characters a room to shine. The Thing, Johnny, Sue, and Reed, everybody gets a good time to shine in the middle of the movie, which is really nice, because there's like a split between run times, and most of these team up movies, they really match the runtime perfectly here, so that's good. And it's the most well thought out movie I've seen in some time as well. Not too serious like Thunderbolts, not that goofy like Love and Thunder. Just the perfect tone which doesn't drop in any act of the film. So I will give Fantastic Four a 8.5 out of 10. Also, I just realized I didn't give a score in my previous review, but that was all just 10. But okay, that's it for today. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.